Cross your fingers for me. This is my second attempt at removing my dip powder nails using my Jello Jello peel off base gel about 3 days ago, so I'm not really going for longevity. I did this mani, and I'll leave the link for that video up in the cards. But because I was doing gel method, I decided it was a good time to try my Jello Jello peel off base coat again. I tried it with dip powder and dip liquids. It did not go so well, but I wanted to try it out with gel to see how it would work out. If you're not familiar with Jello Jello Peel Base, it is a Korean brand that a lot of influencers have been using lately, and it lasts as long as you want it to. And it actually comes with a remover, so that's this bottle right here, where once you're ready to remove it, you add a drop of this and then you can remove your manis. Obviously, like I said, it didn't work with dip liquids, but we're going to try it out with gel method. I'm going to leave this all real time so you can see my entire process from start to finish and see what my experience was with removing a dip powder mani using gels. And you'll notice on my right hand I did put on a glove, and that's because I learned from last time that this remover will strip the top coat off my mani, and I haven't gotten pictures of it yet, so I don't want to ruin my mani. So what I'm doing is I'm applying a little bit of that remover to my cuticle area of my nails, and I'm going to let that soak in a bit. I am also wearing full coverage tips, which I did not apply peel base to, so I'm definitely curious to see whether this remover is going to remove my tips as well, which would not be a good thing because there isn't peel base under there, or if it will just remove my dip powder mani. Obviously, that's the end goal. So the remover has been soaking for just a couple seconds. I didn't wait long. I just wanted to test to see if I could wedge my cuticle tool in between my tip and my dip powder. So I'm not applying a lot of pressure. I know it looks like I'm applying more pressure than I actually am, but I'm just seeing if I can wedge that tool underneath my dip powder so I can start to lift off the mani. And I'm going to try the same thing on a couple fingers just to see if the remover is making any progress, but I don't want to apply a lot of pressure. I don't want to remove my tips. I just want to get in between my dip powder and my tip. So I'm just being really careful because I don't want to lift my tip up and have to replace it. Typically when I use a regular air dry peel base, I will file around my edges and my cuticle area just to expose some of that peel base, and then I will go and try to remove it. But with the Jello Jello, that's not in the instructions, so I'm trying to do it without it. And you can see right here, I start being able to get underneath that dip powder, which is a good sign that the remover is starting to work. So I'm just kind of wedging my tool in there. I'm not being too forceful just to see what I can remove. And you can see that the dip powder is starting to remove. It is in pieces, but it's still a good sign that I'm starting to be able to get it up. And it's definitely a better start than I had with my dip liquid. So I'm going to work on this a little bit more, see what else I can remove. So I've got another piece of that. So I'm actually going to apply a little bit more of that remover now that more of the nail is exposed, just to help the rest of it come up, because I don't want to be forceful. You always want to be really careful and you don't want to force it off. So while the remover is soaking into my thumb for the rest of the nail, I'm going to start working on my index finger to see if I can get some of that dip powder off. So once again, I'm taking my orange wood stick and I'm trying to see if I can find a gap and wedge my orange wood stick in between my dip powder and my full coverage tip. Unfortunately, this was a little bit of a casualty. I had a bad feeling that I was actually wedging in between my tip and my natural nail. I should have just stopped. I don't know why I kept going. Don't be like me. If you have that feeling, just stop and don't keep going. So I ended up actually having to replace my tip because I did lift it a little bit. As you can see, I'm not really working on one nail at a time. I'll try a little bit with one nail, and then if I don't have much progress, I'll work on the next one just to see if I get better progress with the next one. So now I'm moving on to my middle finger. Not much luck, so I'm going to go back to my thumb and more progress. So it's almost all off. So the remover is working, and you can see my tip still is intact, which is a really great thing. And I don't know if you can tell from this video, but the remover kind of softened my dip powder nails, Like it's a little more flexible than when I originally applied the dip powder. So, I mean, I guess whatever helps get it removed, but just wanted to call that out as well. And I still have that last little bit of my thumb that doesn't want to seem to come up. So I'm just going to apply a little bit more remover. So as you're removing, if you're struggling, don't force it. Just apply more remover.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, put your hand to the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah, but I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said.
It wasn't the cleanest pop-off, but I did get it to work. But you see, I had to switch to my metal cuticle pusher because I felt like I had better leverage using the metal cuticle pusher rather than the wood stick. So now moving on to my index finger, so many regrets. I don't know why I kept trying because I had that feeling that I was getting under my tip. So I should have left it alone, but I kept messing with it, which I shouldn't have done.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, put your hand to the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah, but I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread, with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Just popping back in because as you can see, I'm making a lot of progress with my middle finger and it's going a lot better than my thumb did. So I almost have that full nail off. I'm just kind of wedging my tool in there and just gently trying to lift the remainder of it up. But you can see most of it has come off and it isn't in pieces. So I can almost get one full piece of removal. I just want to be really careful because I don't want to damage my nail. I don't want to lift my tip. So I've almost got it and this is really exciting for me. Look at that. Almost a full removal. You can see kind of my sidewalls. There's a little bit left, but that's a lot better progress than I had on my thumb and definitely a lot better progress than I had with trying to remove my dip liquids.
Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel. I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real. But how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah, but I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread, with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win at life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, put your hand to the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
And there we go. I have all of my dip powder popped off. It wasn't clean. As you can see, there's a lot of residue left over. So I'm just going to take my nail file and file down the surface to get off that excess residue. And then I'll just apply my gel base and gel top coat again so they're like new again. But obviously I have to replace my index fingertip just because I did have lifting on that. So I hope it was helpful for you to see my real-time process of removing my dip powder nails using gel to see how that removal went with the peel base. I mean, obviously it's got its benefits and disadvantages to using this. I mean, the advantages is you can wear your dip powder nails as long as you'd like, and then you can just remove it with the remover. But obviously the disadvantage is you can remove it, but it's not the cleanest pop off. So, you know, it's whatever you find more beneficial on whether or not you want to use it. But I did get those 2 really clean pop offs. So 2 out of 5 isn't bad. And you can see here, my other tips are just fine. It was just my index finger that I had problems with. And I will also add, I have tried this peel base underneath my full coverage tips, and that removal went super smooth, super easy, not like what you saw with dip powder nails. So I would highly recommend this peel base for just gels, no dip powder, or full coverage tips because it works really well. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, I'd appreciate it if you gave this video a thumbs up. It lets me know to continue creating content like this, and it also helps YouTube recommend me to others, which helps out my channel. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I upload content every Monday and Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.